Is it okay to dump a client? Maybe they're really difficult and not worth the money, or maybe the work just isn't in the direction you want to go and you have a better opportunity. Is it okay to let them go? And how can you do it professionally?
Oh, it's a bit tricky. I think you definitely can dump a client, but there's probably right and wrong ways of going about it. So ideally not in the middle of a project, unless, for example, something that they wanted seriously contradicted sort of your values and you felt exceptionally strongly about it. Um, Also, maybe good to ask yourself why you don't want to work with that client. Is it because they don't creatively have the same goal as you do, or is it something else? So lots of things could probably be worked around, and you could come to a better way of working without actually having to dump them. Um, it's a small industry, so probably, yeah, good not to get too many clients off site.
Aileen, any thoughts on how you have, like, how do you prepare yourself for a difficult conversation?
Well, it's what I echo what Regina's saying, and asking yourself, maybe some points as to why you think that this client is difficult, what particularly, and getting down to, is it their personality? Is it their creative vision? Is it that they're kind of like involved too much and there isn't enough autonomy? So being kind of specific into the reasons as to why you might not think something is a good match, and then coming with those issues rather than, I guess, when somebody is difficult or I can't work with you, that's just too vague. And so it just creates defensiveness. It just creates like a unnecessary criticism that's not helpful. So when we're communicating problems or we're trying to resolve conflict or get our needs met, the more specific you are and the more that you can think about what's going on for you, then the better it would be for the other person to understand, and that open lines of communication can be had.
I think that there's another thing you can also do, which is it's the classic, like, solutions, not problems. So I know that we have let go in the past. I've let go of clients before. So I think it is okay to let them go when they're not a good fit, and you find that out. But also you could find someone else who is a good fit. So it's not to say that, that client can't work with anyone. It's actually if their values don't match, or the way that they like to work doesn't match your way of liking to work, then you can find somebody else and suggest, like, refer them as you go. So I think there's always that kind of nice way to sort of let yourself out without letting them down.
And I wonder also, just to add on that, Andy, how much a person feels that they're rejecting the client, that they're kind of doing something bad, rather than, hey, if I'm struggling, they're not probably going to get the best out of me. Yeah. And they might be a better match, and then they will get the best out of somebody else, and somebody else would enjoy this type of work. So really reframing it to a positive, that you're not kind of dumping the client or doing anything wrong, but this is, as you say, there's actually an alignment issue, and just being kind of aware what kind of stops you from having these difficult conversations.
Yeah.